situation did this violence occur?
I got jumped. I really don't feel 100% safe anymore.
Would you retaliate? Why or why not?
No, I wouldn't, because I don't feel 2 acts of violence would solve anything. I think violence is not cool.
You know, sometimes violence is necessary, I think. I think it's necessary to defend yourself, you know. But I have some experiences of actually being on the street and getting beaten up by multiple people. And some of the occasions have, one of them has involved a gun, which I got hit in the face with after they tried to rob me. And they managed to not get anything because I was broke.
I practice martial arts for, I think, about 12 years now, so I can only speak to it pretty much through that lens, because that's how I often view violence. And I think violence is, stems from a response to energy, negative energy coming in this case. From a martial arts standpoint, there's 4 things you can do with energy. Right? The worst thing you can do with it, punches coming in, boom, get hit with it, right? Bad idea. Terrible thing to have done with that energy coming in. The next thing you can do is you can block that energy, power against power. So that punch comes in, right? You block it, right? Power against power, okay? It's a direct conflict. The next thing you can do with that energy coming in is get out of the way of it, let it go right on by. But the highest thing, the best thing you can do with that energy coming in is merge with it and harmonize with it. So you use that person's energy against them. So they come in with this negative energy and you subdue it by not blocking it, but like using that circle, or maybe using whatever energy they're coming at with, right? So that's from the physical sense though. We're talking about a physical punch coming in.
Well, I've got a lot of insight about violence since I went to the Army when I was 19, when they still had the draft, and I was scared to death and wondering if I'd ever get home again. I didn't go to combat, but I know several guys that did. 6 guys out of my company went to the Vietnam War. 3 of them I know came back.
I think it was, you know, I just wouldn't, you know, instigate it as much. I would have been, you know, like, just take it, like, oh, you know, I've been more calm and cool instead of getting angry at them for this happening. Because they were the people of power in that situation.
If you give them the power to elicit a response from you, then they have power over you. And I think that's a very limited and very low-level childish response, you know? If someone can actually cause me to get physical with someone else, they control me. They totally control me. And I want to be in control over myself, you know? My teacher used to tell me all the time, he's like, be a master over your actions rather than a prisoner of your reactions. So I think that we have to like master ourselves and then deal with other people on the outside. But right now it's like you have a bunch of people running around, not control themselves, and then reacting to any stimulus that comes in.
It definitely got me. It made me anxious every time I think that, you know, that this could have been it. It's just time stops.
If I'm not harming you, if I'm not bothering you, if I'm not harassing you or causing you any discomfort, leave me alone. Now, if you choose to bother me, and I'm not bothering you or harming you or interfering with your life, then I'm gonna do whatever it takes to protect me. Whatever it takes. Because I'm not going to cause any violence toward anybody, unless I'm forced to.
If I saw a random act of violence, and I have seen random acts of violence, and in the case I actually walked away. I didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to get involved with it. You know what I'm saying? I could have, you know, gone in there and tried to stop it and then get hurt myself. So I mean, I guess call the authorities or whatever, you know, like, maybe if it was my friend, then it would be a different story, but if it was like a random, you know, person on the street getting mugged, I mean, that ain't my business.
If I saw a random act of violence, Well, depending on exactly what the act was, I couldn't just stand around and see somebody harmed. It's just against my nature. But I wouldn't just jump right in. I would do what they taught us in the military. You survey the situation first. Because if I get killed, what help is that to whoever is being harmed, and what help is that to my family? Because if I jumped into a situation just totally unaware, if I lived through it, my sons and daughters would never let me live it down. And if I didn't live through it, then what was the point of that? So I would survey the situation first. First thing you do, of course, is you call 911 for some help. Because, you know, Superman is only in the comic books.
I think the most important thing to stop violence is education about violence. So that's what I think.